Good morning, this is Coach Brene. I'm program manager at Bay City. I have Coach Spyhalski from Saginaw joining us as well. This is virtual lesson number 7 for our 8 to 12 year olds. So we're going to begin today just like a regular class. We're going to start with our feet together set, and we're going to bow. Very good. Now let's begin with our student creed. So everyone, repeat after me. Say, I will develop myself in a positive manner and avoid anything that would reduce my mental growth or my physical health. I will develop self-discipline in order to bring out the best in myself and others. I will use common sense before self-defense and never be abusive or offensive. This is a black belt school. We are dedicated. We are motivated. We are on a quest to be our best. Now, winners never quit. Quitters never win. I choose to win. Very good. Let's go feet together set. And martial arts begins and ends with respect. Very good. Let's bow. Excellent work, kids. Now today we're going to begin with our warm-ups. Now with our warm-ups, we're going to be doing our super slides. Now when we do our super slides, it's almost like doing a lunge. Now when we slide, we're going to take a big step forward, and we're going to pull this back leg forward and all the way up, and we're going to slide it in front of us. So we take a big step forward, and we're going to slide that back leg up. So slide up, back, slide up, back, slide up. You should feel it in the fronts of your legs, and if you really even want to, you could slide around your yard, but the idea is we're stretching our entire leg, work into some lunges even, but I want you to get moving around. Stretching our legs is really the main idea. So now we're going to do a few more warm-ups to get our body moving. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a reverse crab walk. Now we're going to get down on our hands and our feet, and we're going to simply move like a crab, moving backwards all the way around. So this takes a lot of coordination, and it keeps us moving backwards. So try not to fall on the ground. Keep it so just your hands and your feet are the only things touching the ground. So keep your booties, your bodies off the floors. Very good work. If you'd like, move into some forward crab crawls as well. Don't be afraid to move around. Use the space that you have. It's a beautiful day here. Feel free to go outside and do these moves. Just make sure mom and dad can see what you're doing, guys. So moving forward, let's do some swimmers. Now we're going to get onto our backs on the floor. We're going to pretend we're swimming. It's not quite swimming yet weather just yet. So let's practice these skills. So we're going to get our ankles off the floor, and we're going to alternate our legs just like we're swimming. So make flippers with your feet, pushing them in front of you. We want to keep our ankles from touching the floor. Really, we're working on our legs as well as our core. So we want to stop our bodies from moving. We want to keep everything into our core. Very good. And keep it moving, ninjas. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Very, very good. Now, I also want you guys to work on doing your stretches, working on your hip flexors. So if you have a wall or something you can post your hand up against, do that. And we want to bring our knee up. We can straighten our leg out, but we want to strengthen and move around our hips. Because today we're going to be doing kicks, and we need to be mindful of our bodies. So keeping our hip exercise is huge when we do our martial arts. So hand up. We can flex. We can bring our leg out straight in front of us or straight out like we're going to do a side kick. We can work on flexing the hip muscle. So keeping that leg straight all the way up, keeping everything horizontal here. See how long you can hold it. If you could do about 30 seconds of that, you're a champ. And if you'd like, point your toes, make a figure 8 with your leg. But do it on each leg. Each leg, make sure each part of your hip is stretched. You should feel it on both sides. Now, moving forward. Today the theme is, and the big thing I want you to touch on, is coordination and concentration. And you can't have coordination, you can't have focus unless you have concentration. So concentration means having eye contact. If we're about to do a kick, if we're about to do a punch, make sure we're doing our chambers correctly. Make sure we're doing all the mechanics of our punch correctly, the science behind things. If we're going to kick someone in front of us, we don't want to be moving backwards. Absolutely not. We want everything moving forwards. So understanding where our body placement is, it's massive. So I want you to use this when you do your combinations today. When you do your classwork today, I want you to think about your body placement. And the technique that you're going to be working on is a push kick. Now, when we do a push kick, body placement is everything. We need to use a chamber, we need to use our hips, we need to use everything to kick somebody in front of us. So I want you guys to work on something before we move into the kick. If you can see in front of us here, I have a little box made. Now, I'm using some switchgrass here or whatever I got behind me, and I made a little box. So if you have some tape or some sticks or something at home, make a box. And I want you to get into your stance. I want your feet to be right on the edges of that box, and I want you to stay in the box when you do your combination. So whenever you move, you want your feet to stay generally right inside that box. Now, don't make the box super wide, because once we get too wide, we start losing our power, we start losing our balance. So the big thing here is coordination. So the combination we're going to work on today is our jab, cross, push kick. So if you'd like, get into your box, put on your gloves, have a bag or a partner or maybe a sibling or a parent ready with some pads, and practice this combination with them, and stay in your box. Have that concentration and follow my direction. So the combination, once again, is jab, cross. Using our rear leg, we're going to push kick. Now, the push kick is a very effective technique if someone's trying to encroach on us, they're getting in our bubble, and we need to create space to get them back. So we have to use our hips, aka the strongest part of your body. So we want to engage our hips when we push. So this is important. Having this box here really helps me understand where my feet placement should be, whether I'm lefty or I'm righty. I know that my feet have to stay inside the square. So now we're going to do our jab, punching from our lead side, our cross from our rear side. I bring back my cross. My energy is now on my back hip. I'm going to chamber my rear leg, bringing my knee up as high as it will go. My toes are pushed to the ground at this point, and at this point I'm going to bring my toes back. So chamber down, then I'm going to pull my toes back, and you should see the bottom of my foot at that point. So from here, I can push the bottom of my foot straight out at you, aiming for maybe the center of the chest or even in the hips. So chamber, chamber. Each time I'm bringing that foot up a little bit higher. Chamber, and if you notice, my arm is coming down. So maybe some of my higher level belts work on bringing that arm back, even bring your opposite hand across our face. So chamber. Now once we've chambered, we can extend with the bottom of our foot. So chamber, extend. Ready? Chamber, extend. Chamber, extend. So in full, jab, cross, push kick, kia. Jab, cross, kia. Jab, cross, kia. Jab, cross, kia. One more time. Jab, cross, kia. Excellent. Now, the push kick is a very effective technique, like I had mentioned, to create space to get someone away from us. Now, I want to add in a pivot. So, a pivot is simply us turning on our lead foot at about a 45-degree angle. So, I'm picking up my heel. I'm picking it up, kind of like a Michael Jackson step. I'm about to do like a moonwalk or something. So, I'm going to pick that heel up and turn and look in another direction. So I pick my heel up, I pivot. So in full, we're going to do jab, cross, picking that heel up, pivot, cross. So jab, cross, step, pivot, cross. And maybe some of my higher level belts, feel free to use that push kick. Turn your partner, put them at an angle, and push kick them if you have to. Pivots are a very effective and useful technique to use in a situation. If someone's throwing punches at you straight on, you can turn, pivot, put them at an angle that makes them uncomfortable, and you can quickly counter strike. You can quickly throw a move to put you at an advantage. So making an angle, doing a pivot creates opportunities for us to land strikes. So think about our pivots when we're doing our shadow boxing, when we're doing our combinations. So jab, cross, pivot, cross, maybe even a hook, push kick, but have some fun with that. Do some shadow box around the yard, in your workout area, whatever works best for you, but practice your pivots, practice your push kicks, have some fun. But now we're going to move into our cool down, and we're actually going to do some partner stretches. So if you have a sibling or a parent or someone nearby that can help you, grab them now, and we're going to have some fun. So we're going to get into our surf stretch. So if anybody's ever been on a surfboard, it's kind of scary, but what we're going to do is we're going to get into our surfboard position here. And what we're going to do is we're going to stretch our upper part of our leg here. So we're working on our glutes. So coach is going to come down, he's going to push down on our shoulders. He's going to be stretching our glutes. So we're going to pretend we're balancing on a surfboard, and coach is going to push down, creating that pressure, and I'm going to push back up on him. So I'm pushing up, he's pushing down, and from here, I'm working on my glute muscles here so I can push, push, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. It's actually quite a workout. I'm not much of a surfboarder, kids. I'm more of a martial arts kind of guy. So, back down. Almost like I'm doing a horse stance, if you remember that. Pushing down. I'm pushing up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Very, very good. Now, we're going to do one of my favorite stretches. We're going to do our standing hamstring stretch. And this is a very easy one. We're going to get into our feet together set position. It's important our legs are straight, our feet, our legs are together, and we're going to try to touch our toes. Now, for some of us, it might not be easy to touch our toes. That's why we're going to have a partner pushing down on our back to help us bring our hands all the way down as far as we can go. So go ahead, coach, pushing me down, creating that pressure. So now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. You should feel it all the way down the backs of your legs. Give yourself a nice stretch up and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Now, the next stretch you definitely need a partner for, and it's called the seesaw. So if anyone's ever been on a seesaw before, it's kind of fun, but coach, come on in. We're going to both put our feet together, and we're going to put them in front of us, and we're going to put our hands together. Now he's going to lean back, and he's going to stretch the backs of his legs, and I'm going to lean back, and I'm going to stretch the back of my legs. It's actually more of the backs of our whole entire back. The idea is we're using our partner to give us the extra stability to keep us straight. So we're stretching all the way back as far as we can, almost like we're on a seesaw. Good. So do it 5 to 10 times. Do it until you feel it. My back cracked like 5 different times. I don't know about you, Coach, but I definitely could feel it there. Now, the last stretch, we're gonna simply get down and we're gonna stretch the front part of our legs. Now we're gonna get into a butterfly stretch, putting our feet together. We can pull our toes in and pull our heels all the way to our booties. And from here, Coach is gonna push down on our legs. We're gonna do a 5 count. So he's gonna push down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One more time, and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good job, Coach. Thank you very much. I'm very much stretched and ready to move forward with my day. But the big theme of today was our concentration. And as martial artists, we are serious people. We are concentrated on the tasks at hand. We get things done. Now, sometimes in life, we're gonna face adversity. Like right now in life, we've been thrown a little bit of a curveball. And it's how we deal with these things, how we move forward, how we respond that defines us. So if we don't give up, that means we have perseverance. And that means we will never fail. Because if we never give up, we never fail. So, like I had mentioned, sometimes things might not go our way. Sometimes we might not have the results we want to see. And we learn from that. If things don't go our way, we adapt. We come back and we try our best. We learn from the past attempts. So, realistically, failure and perseverance, they cannot coexist. So as martial artists, we have this innate ability to persevere, to come out on top. So guys, I want you to think about this in your daily lives. When things don't go your way, or if you tried and it didn't work out, or you lost at a game or something, try again. Learn from your past experience, get better. But think about that. If you have perseverance, you will never fail. So you will never be a failure if you put 110% into whatever you do. So guys, if I don't hear from you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thanks.